Hi, I'm Amalia DeSardi, and let's explore Camp Colton together. But first, let's review the grounding values of camp. Camp Colton is about empowering students through student-led activities with a spectrum of experiences and a sharing of knowledge. Let's begin camping. So, students first make their journey to camp, leaving behind what is familiar. As they arrive, they are greeted by a staff on the welcoming porch and quickly gather around the fire for their orientation. Remember, students are entering camp fearful, and we hope by the end they feel empowered. Let's break the ice through a quick team building activity, and once their spirits are high, we'll show the students to their cabins, their new home for the next 4 days. And I think students will start to see that the nature is the driving force behind their new home, but something that they can learn from, interact with, and the built-in environment can reinforce these interactions. Students will make their bed, unpack their belongings, and just get comfortable in their new environment. Again, we're trying to move them from fear to empowerment, from active to passive ways, from the loud busyness of their home life into the quiet peace that the nature can bring. Then they'll move to the center of camp for their first lunch, having lunch in community outside on benches and picnic tables, or they can sit inside around their friends around a community dinner table as well. Next, they'll have the opportunity to go on their first expedition, which is led by Camp Colton staff. And one of the expeditions they could do that I'm proposing is they can learn from their own built environment, their cabin, and how it's passively heating and cooling their space. In the evening, they gather back around in the center of camp for that community meal, sharing their stories, and that's reinforced as they gather around the fire in the evening. It's about moving from that chaos to that time of reflection, sharing of knowledge, experiences, memories, and making new memories. And as they lie their heads down, we hope at night they're excited and feel empowered for the next day to come. So, the site arrangement that we had shown and the activities the students have gone through is really about moving students even on the lower southeast side to the upper north side, from coming and going. And their experience should be something that is active to passive, loud to quiet, heavy to dissipated, chaos to reflection, fearful to empowerment, and me to we. So what does that start to look like? We start to begin to layer the floor that the nature provides and that the forest provides itself through various pathways, porches, and steps. The students are able to gather in community on these various porches, operating as a collective and relying on one another, but ultimately knowing that nature has the upper hand. So the material palettes that we start to unfold are still very natural. We have very natural paths, raised paths to not disturb what is happening, using material to build out that amphitheater and that reflection space at the top, again, moving from chaos to reflection. Then, as we start to look at the massing of the buildings and the cabins, I'm proposing large carvings for open space to help connect students back to nature. And again, they're able to remain on the various porches and plains of the forest at hand. And then finally, in the interior of their cabin, I would hope that the cabinets actually remain neutral in space. And it's not something that totally reflects a bedroom, but one that has the flexibility to be adapted if it even needs to become a ramada as the seasons become colder. So thank you. And let's remember that camp is a discovery of oneself in relation to the world, people, ecologies, and the forest. This exploration allows students to have the autonomy to craft their own experiences while sharing their discoveries as they gather in community. Again, thank you.